Hey guys, Bread and Loaf of Cheese here. We are counting down our top favorite Pokemon. First, I am Loaf of Cheese, and number 20, Pyroar. Bread's going to be doing it in the next video. But number 20 is Pyroar. I think Pyroar looks pretty beast overall, but the whole thing and reason why I didn't choose him is because of the whole Flame Blast type main. I just didn't like it too much. Number 19, Lucario. The reason why I chose Lucario as number 19, I mean, he is really cool as a Pokemon, but he's a fighting type. And to me, fighting types can be cool, but this one in particular, not really. But other than that, he's pretty cool. Number 17 number 18, sorry. Giratina. I chose Giratina mainly because of he's the first legendary I ever caught, and he's in the first game that I ever played. First game I ever played was Pokemon Platinum. You should get it if you are a first timer. And don't talk about, oh, there's all these new three-dimensional games. Yeah, this game will seem boring to you, but, you know, whatever. Number 17, Gengar. I just like Gengar overall. He's a quick little monster that kind of runs around wherever he feels like it. He's got red eyes and a menacing glare, and he feels like at any time, he really could kill you. But he won't, just because Gengar is beast. Number 16, Gyarados. I picked Gyarados mainly because Heart Gold is one of my favorite games. It is very fun, and he's the first shiny I've ever caught. I caught him in the sea, and my brothers freaked out about it. But yeah, he's pretty cool. Number 15, Umbreon. I chose Umbreon mainly just because it's Umbreon. Who doesn't like a good old lunar version of Eevee? Umbreon also has a very good amount of attacks and looks cool overall in general. I mean, who doesn't like black and yellow? Staraptor. I chose Staraptor mainly because he's my favorite out of like every bird Pokemon there is out there. And I thought that adding a bird Pokemon would be pretty interesting. I think he tops the rest of them just because of his amazing looks and complete awesomeness with attacks, especially Brave Bird. Number 13, Blaziken. I chose Blaziken as my number 13. I know he's a fighting type, and I said that I don't like them particularly in general, but he's also a fighter type, and he is my favorite starter out of every starter you can possibly pick. And, Torchic is his first evolution whenever you evolve him. And not to mention his Mega Evolution is super cool. Crap, I forgot my number on. Number 12, Flareon. I chose Flareon because it's my favorite Eevee evolution. I also chose Umbreon in this, but Flareon kind of overtops him, mainly because of his really cute looks, and the mane looks more like a tiger. At the same time, he's a fox. Tiger or fox? Please tell me in the comments below. Teddiursa. I chose Teddiursa as my number 11 pick just because of his overall cuteness, and not to mention that really nice moon crescent on its head. But Teddiursa is a very, very young bear that is always protected by his dad, Ursaring. Ursaring's a little overpowered, and I like Teddiursa for that reason. Number 11, I think. Yeah, number 10, Zangoose. Zangoose is one of my favorite Pokemon, just because of his overall overpowering looks, and it looks like he's been in at least 5 battles by himself. I've also defeated Bread with this Pokemon, only using the move Fury Cutter. Sudowoodo. I've liked Sudowoodo since I was maybe 4. Because, I mean, who doesn't like a tree? I mean, it's a living tree, what else? I was a very artistic person when I was younger. Number 8, Snorlax. who doesn't like a fat person sitting there? I mean, he aggravated me in some of the games because I couldn't obtain the Poke Flute for a while. But whenever I got it, I got to wake him up. And on X and Y, I made sure I saved before I did it and eventually caught Snorlax. Barbaracle. I like this picture because it's an animation. But Barbaracle is one of my favorite Pokemon because, I mean, who would have thought that a rock would turn into this? He's a fighting-type Pokemon, and I've said before that I don't particularly like fighting-type Pokemon. I mean, I like some of them just because of how overpowering they look, or just in general. This fighting Pokemon was chosen mainly because of its amazing looks, and not to mention that all those claws and a fist for a head. I mean, that's just amazing. Mightyena. Mightyena is one of my favorite Pokemon just because I like wolves in general. This one reminds me of a wolf the most. And, other than that, Mightyena is kind of a menacing glare, and other than that, that's why I've chosen him for my number 6 spot. Number 5. I mean, oh shoot, not my number 6 spot, but anyway. I forgot what number this is, but it doesn't matter. Bisharp. Bisharp has just inspired me to do so many things, mainly because he's a robot that has a ton, like an axe for a head, and can slice you with his entire body. How cool is that? I mean, you could just mow your lawn by rolling over it. Anyway, Bisharp is kind of cool. I've seen him in Black and White, I mean, since Wedgebread asked me to watch most of the episodes with him. Bisharp was super overpowering and one of the coolest looking Pokemon I know. Luxray. I chose Luxray. I mean, all of his younger evolutions aren't that cool, but whenever they turn into this, he can be pretty menacing and super cool. His moves do a lot of damage, and especially in the card game, I like to play as him. Now, I chose this one just because I really liked him, and he inspired me to do a lot of things. The amazing Scraggy! Scraggy is one of my favorite Pokemon, mainly because he can block with his stomach. I mean, how cool is that? He's also a little tiny gecko. I've wanted one of those for my entire life. But a little gecko in a forest that can block with his stomach. I mean, how amazing is that? He can block a bullet just by pulling up his shorts. Just like, let's just put the skin back on. I'll deflect the bullet for you. Going to my number 2, Pansage. I chose Pansage as my number 2, mainly because if you read his description, it says that he can take off parts of his head, which is a leaf, and feed it to other people that can heal them, or himself. I like Pansage mainly because in the show Black and White, where I saw, Pansage was able to absorb power using his leaf on the top of his head to use Solar Beam. Solar Beam is one of my favorite moves, and Pansage just looks so freaking cute overall. Now, the number 1 is going to come up, but I have to tell you, some Pokemon that I really could have chosen would have been either Zapdos or Druddigon. Number 1, Arcanine. Arcanine is my favorite Pokemon, mainly because me and my friend really liked this Pokemon at the time, and we haven't seen each other for about 2 years. But Arcanine has super menacing looks. He looks like a wolf / Flareon. He looks just like Flareon, except for an extra evolution. His moves aren't that amazing because I've never used them before, but with Arcanine, you can do just about anything you really feel like it. Flame Charge, and all those other moves. Sadly, I cannot use any of my Arcanines in my card tournaments because they're all, no longer usable. Arcanine is my favorite Pokemon because of his menacing looks. He looks like a wolf, he looks like Flareon, and he's my friend and I's favorite Pokemon just because of his amazing stripes and looks. That's all for today, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye.